Welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have somebody who, well, I really do love To the Moon and Back. He has done wonderful things for our community, and I'm talking about the one and only Chris Surface, who is the managing artistic director of our fabulous jewel, Tacoma Little Theatre. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Amanda. How are you doing?
I'm better now that I get to look at you. How's that?
You're going to make me blush. Stop.
Well, your mom is sending me checks, so I have to say that.
She's opposite, so I would not be surprised if she does send one your way.
She's a great mom. So, Chris, as I look at you in your office, and I think this would have been the start of Tacoma Little Theater's 102nd season. What's going on at the moment amidst all the COVID and the fire smoke and everything else?
You're right. It would have been the start of the 102nd season on September 11th. And it was a tough one. It was a day that we normally look forward to. We were excited, but this year we know that we had to step back. And so what we've done is we've taken the entire slate of shows that we had planned for the 102nd season and moved them to September of 2021. We felt that was the best decision at this time to make sure that we're keeping our community safe and our actors and our crews safe along with our staff. So what that means is we'll continue to do our virtual events that we've been doing, and we're going to throw some shows in if we're able to when it's safe to do so. So we've got some things planned for that. Terms of Endearment is waiting, which was supposed to have been a part of last season. And then the set for Chorus Line is still up on stage. So our fingers are crossed that we get to bring that show back too.
You know how much I love Chorus Line and Terms of Endearment. You're getting me right where I live here. You know, Tacoma Little Theater is known for their educational programs, and you've mentioned that those are going to continue. So give us an update of what we can expect and what we can register for.
We've got some great programs coming up. For our youth program, we have our after-school program, which is combining both our homeschool and our normal public school programs together this year. And they're going to offer, depending on the number of enrollments, which are getting stronger every day, we're looking at either Dracula, which is perfect. It's a little comedy about Dracula for the Halloween season, or a fun little musical called Super Happy Awesome News, which is a delightful little show. So either one of those ones will be our fall offerings for our students. We also have our tap classes, both a beginner and an intermediate tap class that's taught by Melanie Gladstone, which is a lot of fun. She's a phenomenal educator and does such a wonderful job in that virtual setting. It's a little different, but you start to get used to it and you realize you can have just as much fun on a screen learning than you can in person with somebody. And tap via Zoom is quite interesting. We also have some classes for adults too. They can take the tap classes. We also have a British dialect class for adults this year. And then an improv for our older students, our younger age set of our middle school to high schoolers. We have our improv class that's going to be happening too. And all those classes can be found on our website under the education section. We'll tell you how you can register and be a part of those fun programs.
Oh, I just before we got started, I said, okay, Chris, put your tap shoes on. Here we go. Something. Tap classes are fun, whether they're in person or whether you're Zooming. It's great exercise, and it's like bowling. It's a great time to laugh and get it out.
Yeah, and the routines they come up with are so much fun.
Oh, I bet. So how have your Friday Night Live events been going?
They have been going wonderful. We took a little break at the beginning of September just to give everybody a little breath of fresh air before we launched into the fall season. But we've been going strong with live programming on Friday nights since March. We've just kept going with it. We now have our two standard staples, which are Castmates, which is casts of past shows come together to answer audience questions about what it was like to be a part of that show. Audience members can ask what was fun about it, what was terrifying about it, and the cast can share those memories. And then it's also fun to see those casts come together and that magic reignite when you have a cast that's dynamic. It's so much fun to see their faces light up, the excitement of them talking with one another, and the stories they tell us that we had no idea about. On a Friday, the 18th of September, Calendar Girls is going to come together, which was such a wonderful show that we had last fall in this same time slot. So we thought, what a wonderful way to bring those wonderful people back together and let them celebrate a year later the success of their show. And then we also have Spacies, which is Tacoma's original live radio space comedy. It's done in the style of old-time radio shows. It's written by local actors and brings together a cast of people to explore the adventures of Ensign Jock Jr. and Commander Rash Blasterbelt on their adventures through space. And it's just a fun little breath of fresh air and a chance to just relax. And coming up, our next virtual program, which will launch in October, which is Page to Screen, where we're inviting local playwrights to send us their scripts. And then we're going to put those up as Zoom events to hear their pieces read out loud, which for an author is one of the best ways for them to refine their piece and learn about it and how it will sound coming out of the voices of people. So we have the first one, which is called The Final Assignment, coming up on October 2nd, if I remember correctly. And it is about a reporter who's assigned to the beat for President Kennedy the day of the assassination. Ooh. And so it's everything through his eyes on that. And it's written by local author Jimmy Giletti with an amazing cast of people. So keep your eyes open and be ready for that one.
Your creativity, the creativity of this team, just, it never ceases to amaze me, because in and amongst all of the programming you've just talked about, guess what else? It's the remodel. So how's the remodel going?
It is going wonderfully. And I think Fred's going to get some pictures up on the screen. It has been a wonderful thing to come into every day, to have something. While we may not be creating art on stage, we are creating a space for art to occur when it is safe to do so again. The auditorium rake is complete. The flooring is in. The seats will arrive a little bit later this month. The new booth is being built right now. The lobby's getting recarpeted. The new ADA access ramp to the auditorium is installed. There's new lighting in the lobby. It's just going to be an entirely different feeling when you walk through the doors of TLT, when all of this is at a point where we can bring you back inside the building. And the thing about that is we started that fundraising project back in April of 2018. And these were restricted funds. We'd applied for grants that could only be used for this project, and donations that people had made to buy the chairs. We sold the chairs for the auditorium. Those were funds that only could be used for the remodel project. Otherwise, we would invalidate those funds and have to give them back. So it was that nice little ability to have something going on. I was able to keep my staff employed through the summer, and they're still working right now on the set of the auditorium. But you know, it's going to get tough in a little while when we're not having live events happening on stage. So we hope that things pick up, and we hope that we get some guidance on that. But be on the lookout for our annual appeal letter coming in the mail soon, because we've been here for 102 years. We survived 1918 pandemic, and we're going to survive this one too. But we're going to need the help from our community and our supporters.
Absolutely. So Chris, as you sit there at the helm and you look out at all the remodel, is there any kind of inkling inside of you that says people can come back to TLT on this date?
I've been very careful this whole time never to assign a date to anything, because I think you turn it into a moving goalpost scenario. Yes. Where, oh yeah, we're going to open on June 15th. Oh wait, we're going to open on June 29th. Oh wait, we're going to open, and it just turns into this. So we've always said, when it is safe to do so, we'll bring programming back. In an ideal world, we would hope to have either 1 or 2 person show, maybe in late December, so we could bring you back in for the holiday season. If that's not possible, we have other plans for the holiday programming. We're hoping that in the spring, we will have that ability to bring people back into the auditorium. We'll of course keep it physically distanced, and small cast shows like Terms of Endearment, which is 5 people and can be done safely. It really depends though on where you are in the country. I have friends in other theaters who are doing shows right now to 80% houses, everybody mathed up except for the actors when they're on stage. And it really depends on where you are and how your local guidances are in place.
Yes, and the ultimate director, COVID-19.
Yes.
So what can we do to help you out right now, Chris?
Just remember that the arts are there for you still. I think all of us during this time have really turned to entertainment on television, literature, all those things that are considered art forms. We've been using and sponging up as much as we can. I mean, all of us have binged at least 3 or 4 series on Netflix or Hulu right now. But know that they're there, and that there are still things happening at all the local theaters in town. We all have programming going on. Yes, it's different than being here in person, but we're still doing something to keep both our patrons involved and our cast and our artisans of the community involved. So if you're thinking about, wow, what can I do tonight? It's a Friday night. I really can't go out to a restaurant and have a good time with friends. Think about looking and seeing what's happening at your local theater. Ourselves, Lakewood Playhouse, Tacoma Musical Playhouse, Tacoma Arts Live, we're all putting on programming to make sure that our community is still experiencing the arts, because Tacoma has such a rich, rich arts scene.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I love how collaborative all the theaters are. It is the definition of collaboration, not competition, and it makes it feel like a family, and it makes it also very accessible to everyone. Speaking of families, Chris, how is the rest of your staff doing during this time?
They are doing wonderful. I am so fortunate to have an amazing staff, both from our technical side of things to our production side to our office staff. Karen, Nana, Blake are our major stalwarts. Diana, our development director. Frank, our lead carpenter, and our wonderful box office interns and shop interns that we have. I'll throw out their names too: Gunnar and Nate and Austin and Emma and Courtney and Alicia and Sarah. I hope I didn't forget anybody, but they've all been wonderful. They've been very happy the fact that we've been able to have them here, those who felt they were safe to return, because it is a personal decision if you want to come back. And so those who felt it was safe have come back, and they've been happy to be doing something, which is what I think we're all happy to be able to be doing something. And a great board of directors that supported us all in this whole process, because it is new ground for everyone.
Absolutely, Chris. So in and amongst all those amazing people that you just recognized, and I love that you recognized your team, is there anybody else you'd like to thank before I have to say goodbye and send you back out into remodel land?
Our designers, who we don't see here right now because we have nothing going on. So our resident designers, Jen, Nick, Michelle, our actors, our directors, our volunteers. We miss our volunteers tremendously. This theater needs people inside of it, and to not have them in here, it is kind of a lonely building right now. So you can always give us a call. We're in the office normal hours of Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 6, and we'd love to hear from you. Or if you feel safe and you want to take a tour of the building and we do it safe and physically distanced, you can always stop by. We'd love to show you what's happening here and give you an idea. But we can't thank the community enough for being behind us for 102 years, let alone during this time here in this new world that we're in.
I can't thank you enough, Chris. I couldn't think of anybody that I would want at the helm than you, because you are the essence of Tacoma Little Theater, income, family, and love. So Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mandy. And Dylan, our sound designer. I knew I would forget somebody. That came down on suddenly.
There we go. Chris, thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you someplace so I can give you an elbow hug. Deal?
Deal.
Great. We have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.